Welcome to this, our second explainer video on CamoHide. This video will be about camouflaging your trail camera against a tree, how to install your camera and then covering it with CamoHide. Firstly, the obligatory apologies from my side. I'm doing this video in my backyard, in my garden. So there might be a lot of noise. Firstly, aeroplanes, maybe cars going by, people going on with their normal daily routines, dogs barking, etc. I really do apologize for that. Also, the audio might be a bit soft at some stages. I'm not using professional audio equipment. And then lastly, my language. My mother tongue is Afrikaans, not English. So I might have a couple of tongue twisters in between and maybe think about what the English word would be for something I think of in Afrikaans. Then, let's have a look at what we need. Firstly, tools and parts required. Let's have a look at the parts. First part would obviously be your trail camera. Second, the bag with screws and press studs you've received with your CamoHide. The strap, which is meant to replace your camera, your manufacturer supplied camera strap. And then CamoHide. The CamoHide we've prepared on the previous video, part 1. You will see that this CamoHide is actually a different type. It is a Mupani, and we are working on a cypress tree. So it's two different types. I do not have, this will help you to see better, and obviously we will not lose any of the information if you can still see the CamoHide against the tree. Okay, then last part required would be the wonder stick. Wonder stick, if you haven't used one before, you probably haven't installed a trail camera before. We use a wonder stick either in the bottom or the top of the camera to aim the camera towards the target. Okay, tools. Let's have a look at the tools. Screwdriver, or if you're like me, a battery-powered screwdriver or drill. Makes life a lot easier. Instead of that, you can also use a staple gun. We usually use a 12 millimeter or half an inch staple. They're good to put the CamoHide up against the tree. Obviously apply it to replace the, to remove all the staples. And then if you're going to climb up high in the tree, I also suggest any safety equipment like a harness or ropes or whatever. So let's have a look. How do we put up the camera with the camera strap? The camera strap has got 3 parts. It's got the strap itself, it's got a buckle on the one end, and it's got a cam buckle, an adjustable cam buckle on the other end. Decide on where you want to put your CamoHide up on the tree. This is going to be about 5 feet off the ground. So I do apologize. I might also move in front of the camera with my back towards the camera. Okay, so let's start. I want my camera to be about this height. That's it. There's my strap with the one side. Now I'm going to take my camera and I'm going to decide on how far my cam needs to be so that my camera can still sit snugly against the tree. Open up the cam, put the camera in, and I can see it should be just about there. Again, screwdriver, slip and slide. Okay, there we go. That's the cam in. Now I can take my camera, I can mount it. As such. And now we start adjusting the aim using our wonder stick. You can aim it up, or you can aim it down by loosening it a bit. distort, and there you go. So I want my camera to sit like this. Aimed a bit down with the one that's sticking in the back, the top. Okay. Now you can go ahead, you can adjust the camera, take a couple of test photos, make sure that the camera takes the photo and that the photo which comes out is satisfactory. Make sure that it sends if it's a GSM type of camera. Make sure the batteries are loaded, etc. Okay, next part. When we install CamoHide, we've got two options. First option would be to use the drill with the press studs. But we only use these if the camera is going to be in a permanent installation. That means it's going to be there for more than 2 months. You're going to come back, you're going to change batteries, you might change the SD card or empty the SD card, and you need to maintain the camera in its current position. For that situation, we use the press studs with the screws. Okay. Should you move your camera around quite a lot, so it's only going to be in that place for, let's say, 2 weeks. You're going to go home, you can come back in 2 weeks, and after those 2 weeks you're going to change batteries, move the camera to a new location. Then we suggest using the staple gun with staples. So the first one I'll do will be with the staple gun and the staples. Take the CamoHide, put it over your camera, make sure that the camera can see through the holes we've cut in the previous video. Determine the top, and we're going to fasten it in the top here. Yep. 1, 2. Alright. Pull the camera over again. Fasten the bottom. Alright, that's the top and bottom. Now let's do the sides. I'm going to do the left side first, in the middle, and then this side, right side. Make sure that the screens and everything stays where it should be. This is now moved down a little bit. Okay. Not happy with this one. It's gone into the stud itself. That's better. Alright. You will see that I've made some stress relief cuts in this CamoHide. Stress relief cuts helps when you mount your CamoHide on a small diameter tree. The larger the diameter, the less these bulges or folds will be when you mount your CamoHide. This allows us to stretch it a bit further and then staple it in again. So let's do the top first, I'll show you. These cuts were made vertically with the grain of the bark. One, we'll do the other side, the same thing. Two, we'll do the bottom, let's see, we've got cuts in the bottom also. One, yeah. Now we've got 2 bulges still coming up. So what I can do is I can loosen this, or I can try and get the bulge against the tree. I will adjust this one. Remember, if you do adjust, always make sure that the camera can still see through the CamoHide. I think it's maximum. Alright, now we can do one there, one here. Same thing on this side. This looks a lot better. One there, and another one there, and one here. Okay, that should be satisfactory. Oops, this is a bit loose. Let's just tighten that up a bit. Put a bit over, such. False looks normal. And that's it. There's your CamoHide with the staple gun. Very easy to install and very easy to maintain. Now, let's move on to the next part. Next part would be using your drill with the screws and the press studs for a long-term installation. Right. Okay, now we're going to install the CamoHide with the press studs and the screws. Again, same as when you've used your staple gun. Same process, but instead of staples, we're only going to use the screws and the press studs. Again, you'll have the press stud at the top. Determine where it should be. Keep in mind that adjustment might be necessary at some stages. I'm going to make a small mark against the tree where I want that press stud. Put the screw through the hole in the press stud as such. Side away it was, it's there. Okay, first press stud. I'm going to put my CamoHide onto that press stud. That's it. Alright, now determine where the bottom one should be. Make sure that your alignment is correct. Let's see where I should put it. There, I'm going to stretch it just a little bit. Okay. Right. Come on. Let's give it this one. Right. That's my bottom press stud. Still aligned. Stretch over. That's good. Now just put the stuff on top, onto it. That's it, it's clicked in. Okay, again, now we do the sides. Determine the left side where it should be. Position for this press stud. Do this again. Start putting it over, make sure this, that. You do not have to overstretch your CamoHide. It just needs to go over. Fasten it. It's clicked in. Now the right side. And click it in. Depending on the angle, sometimes the press studs may be difficult to engage with the socket. Then just give it a bit of a knock, it will go in. Right, as you can see, these folds again, I still have these cuts. I'm going to pull up. First we do put the side of this one. Yeah. That's it. That's engaged. Do the other side. Up. Wants to be. And as I said, remember, do not over pull or overstretch your CamoHide. It's not necessary. It only needs to go over the camera. This press stud will have some difficulty going in. I'm just going to break away the bark on the side, which is stopping it from going in. That's it. That's what I want. Now we're going to do the bottom corners. Same story. Other side. That's it. Alright, now you still got studs on the sides. You can quickly adjust, put those studs on also. Okay, last one. Go. Alright. Okay. Press studs are in. All we're going to do now is we need to try and get the CamoHide as flat against the tree as we possibly can. So you'll see this at the top. Just going to pull it up a bit. Add a staple there. Add a staple here. Add a staple here. Right. Add a staple here. And one there. And one there. Good. And then maybe a last one just down here. Just to keep the CamoHide as flat as you possibly can against the tree's bark surface. Maybe one the outside. One. Good. Alright. And there's your camera. Camouflage with CamoHide again. If you need to come back and you need to replace your SD card or your batteries, and you're going to leave it in place, just remove the staples you've already got. You can start loosening the buttons. Press stud buttons. Pull out those staples you've already got in there, just so that you don't tear your CamoHide in any way. This one's just a press stud. And move around. This one's a press stud. This one's a press stud. That's a press stud. Obviously. There. Press stud. Up. Press stud. Such a stud. Now, access to your camera, do whatever you need to do. When you're finished, close it down again, button it up. Okay, now you can just adjust it again with a staple gun. And that's it. It's easy as 1, 2, 3. Your camera is mounted. Camouflage with CamoHide. Thank you very much for watching. In our third part of multi-part, we'll show you how to adjust the colors of CamoHide with spray paint so that it matches the tree perfectly. It is sometimes necessary to do so, not in all certain circumstances. But there's so many species, and depending on where your tree grows, there are color differences between what we provide you with and what the actual tree looks like. Thank you very much. See you again.